I tell them all the time, still ain't figured this out. Still ain't figured this out, man. See, she got the answers. I still ain't figured this out. He say he got the cues. I still ain't figured this out, man. I'm in it for. And welcome to another episode of the Crappy Awesome Podcast. It's your host, Kill C. Ray. Man, it's been a good one. Platformcollection.com is where you will find us. Please go there, support the artists we support. It's been a good week, man, for the team. Releasing a lot of content. Go there, please support that shit. Support Tumex TV on Instagram, on YouTube. Go do that. But man, I got a dope guest today, a really good friend of mine. I've known this gentleman for quite a while. You guys have been hearing a lot about him actually on the last few episodes. Almost every artist has come on and at least mentioned Hip Hop Wins. This guy's the creator of that. It's his brainchild. Mike Mackey talked very highly about it as being one of the graduates of Hip Hop Wins, and he definitely credits that place for putting him on the map at all. But with no further ado, man, my homie Kahlee is on the show, man. Kahlee, welcome to the show, my G. You got an amazing project out right now. You and Ralph Quasar are killing it. A much anticipated project. By the way, if you guys are tuning in for the first time, you guys can go to platformcollection.com or the podcast, wherever you find them, type in Kahlee's name, and you'll see that he's been on the show multiple times. So you can trace his history, hear about his early days. Because today we're going to get into like his music that he's making now, the stuff that's going on with his life now, and what we can expect for the future. Dude, talk a little bit about the project. How long did this project? This is SD State of Mind, by the way. Go get that merch. Super dope merch. I already ordered my package. So I know that shit is gonna be fire. So talk a little bit about how this project came about, why you wanted to even make the project. You know, was this something because you hadn't made music or recorded a project for yourself for how long?
Man, a project?
Yeah.
I haven't done more than a few features and released a single here and there in about 4 or 5 years. Definitely before hip hop went.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, it's crazy because a couple of those features was with 18 Scales and working with Ralph and, you know, Rick and just being around the atmosphere all the time and rocking with them cats and everybody in general. It's just like I knew I wanted to do a project with Ralph, and he's made it clear like anytime you're ready to work on some shit, let's do it type of thing. So he shot me a beat one day a while back, and it had been a while since I wrote anything, and then I knocked that verse out like while I was waiting on a Jiffy Lube and shit to do my car. Ended up writing the hook and, you know, the second verse later, and basically I sat on that for a minute, and then finally I got with him, went to his crib. I had written a song off of a different beat, actually one of Innate's beats, the homie Innate, shout out Innate. And but I talked to Ralph and we're like, all right, let's do this project. So we got together, checked out some of his beats, and picked a couple, found the perfect one for that song I had wrote over that other beat. And I was like, this is it. That turned into For the Culture.
Yeah.
And then over time, over like a 6 month period, I probably wrote about 7 songs. The idea was originally to do like a 5, 6, 7 song EP.
Okay.
And then got about 7 songs pretty much done. And the beginning of 2020, it was like, you know what? Let's put together like a 3-song EP. You know what I'm saying? And as COVID came around and fucked up everything and shit, or trying to, we started releasing stuff. And I started working on a lot of shit. And I'd say around June, after my birthday, you know, we had been into COVID for a few months, and I guess you could say getting used to this new way of living. And I had been out of work for 3 months, bro. So my birthday came around June 8th. Went back to work around that same time. Started getting inspired because even though I got a lot done around the house, not just, you know, musically, I honestly didn't get a lot done in that 3-month period. Just being home, you know, and my kids in school, so doing the Zoom thing, and, you know, shit like that. all of a sudden I just got hit with like this inspiration, and it's not like I felt it until I started writing and realized I was having no problem saying exactly what I wanted to say
Oh
when I was
wow.
writing my typing my rhyme. So I've been in places where I wrote a rhyme, and when I was done, hours later or even days later, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm really feeling this. But I was writing it and I was like tripping. I was even having combos with myself, like, shut the fuck up, just write, like, don't jinx it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Man, it just got better and better. And I knocked out like a few tracks with Ralph, and then I had these innate beats for the longest time. Started working on these. Well, I'm getting too far off.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, we'll get to
Yes,
that. We'll get to that.
SD State of Mind. So
Right,
SD State of Mind, man.
but so let me ask you this. What do you credit it to? Do you think it was just like piled up? Was it just piled up like inspiration that had probably just been there and then you tapped into it and it started pouring out? Like what was
Yeah,
the
it's hard to talk about it without going into all this other shit. But I'll just say like what you said, man. Like
Yeah.
it's different because SD State of Mind is the first of a lot of things you're gonna hear over the next few months. You know what I'm saying? And like you're gonna hear some. There's a lot of jewels, and it's not just straight like flossy universal. I guess you could call it battle rap type shit. Especially building buildings is like some straight topical
Right.
shit. But it's definitely a lot of bars. I love flexing the bars. I'm a fan of the bar architecture. But as more music comes out, you're going to see like, whoa, this is a lot of this. This is a lot of that. This is a lot of conversations you and I have personally had, conversations you've had with other people, we've had outside of hip hop weds, just
Yeah.
people are having. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, it's not like there ain't tracks where I'm just out there killing the mic, but at the same time, man, it's some straight conversational stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So SD
So
State of Mind was actually gonna have a different third track. It was SD State of Mind, the single for the culture, and it was this other track called Another Day, Another Dollar. But as we realized, let's call it SD State of Mind. I felt like that building buildings track could really fill in a space in this San Diego centric project, and
yeah.
especially for you know me from making music, and we built a lot of shit together and side by side and,
Yeah.
at the same time or whatever. But a lot of these other people that we've met and became homies of ours, through hip hop weds and other things,
Right.
these motherfuckers see me do a set and they're like showing me mad love, but they're like, I didn't even know you really rap. Like, I know you could spit and I've
Right,
seen you rock
right.
the mic, but I didn't know you did music like that and shit. And I was just like, all right. So that was kind of what lit the fire. And as time goes on, it's like, you know what? Let me focus. I didn't think of it ahead of time, you know what I'm saying? But as we go, you kind of like plan out and tweak the knobs a little bit. And it's like, you know what? SD State of Mind is the move. And let's keep it SD, focused. And anybody could feel it. But we really, obviously, with the artwork and shit, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's
yeah.
all SD shit, you know what I'm saying?
Was there like a like as you started to think about putting the project together, was there, because you said you didn't feel like it was flowing like clean, was there any part of the process that you felt rusty about? Because I think about this too, because I mean obviously a lot of this I'm asking you for the audience. I know some of this stuff, but I know because of hip hop wins, it wasn't like you were not actively rapping. In fact, you were rapping it was probably the longest stream of time that you were consistently rapping, actually, like physically rapping, right? Like every week
And
you were
since
doing
like doing
something.
shows and
Yeah.
touring, like there was definitely a time where I was touring,
Yeah.
a while back. I was up to like 60, almost 70 shows a month. I mean,
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah.
But it was like slowing down with the actual performances of my shit. And then now we're doing weekly events, and I'm on the mic at least 3 times a month, and like on the mic all
Yeah.
night,
All night.
freestyles,
Yeah.
everything, like practicing different aspects of what I like to do on a mic. You know what I mean? So then COVID hit, and it's like, but that has not, for me at least, and I would think other people too. That shit ain't got nothing to do with my pen game. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? My pen game is, it's like when I get something done, people tend to like it, and I'm usually happy with at least what y'all hear. There's
Yeah.
a lot of shit in
Yeah.
the trash bin, don't get me wrong. But I think the rusty part was probably me making a lot of the shit that I've done with Ralph. And rusty in the sense that like it takes me a while to get the verse done. And once I get flowing, then I'm good. Then I finish the shit, and maybe I can roll right into another track or something. or maybe it take a while before I get the inspiration. Like I wrote that first track and it turned out to be the song called Hands High, which is not out yet, but y'all will see it because we're gonna release that show we just did. It's gonna come out and I performed it on there.
Yep.
But I wrote that and it was months before I wrote another track. And it had been way more than months. It had many months since I wrote a track before that. But you know what happened? I don't know if you've seen that thing that I did. Shout out Sojourn and I think homeboy's name is Caps and that's his people's. I think it's his future.
The Cypher thing, right?
Yup.
Yeah,
they started it when COVID happened. And
which is like for people who don't know, it's a digital cipher split up through Instagram, right?
Fun, something like that. Yeah, it's on IG Live or IG Stories.
Yep.
And I think it's called 4 bar fun or something like that. And it's like 6 MCs, 4 bars back and forth, and everybody does it. And wherever they do it, send in the cut and beat switch up. It's dope. And I just really came off on that. And then I wrote something else. I kind of don't remember all these verses, but it was a few verses. Then I started getting into the flow. So it was like all the things I've done over the last 6 months or so with Ralph and a couple other things, features and shit. It got me flowing more consistently.
Gotcha.
Then when I went back to work, I had time because like it's kind of slow at work. You know what I'm saying? So I sit down, I got a bunch of beats, I start writing and my coworker, it's just me and another brother, older white dude, and that's my man, dude. He's like an older white heavy metal. I mean, he likes all kinds of music, but he's like a heavy metal version of me, dog.
Yeah.
Wearing like band shirts and concert shirts to work all the time, and just really into all kinds of music, even hip hop. He's like one of our homies that we might have who don't make music or none, or maybe in the past they did, but like he's just in the scene, for what he does. So it's perfect, man. So I'd be next to him, a few feet away, just writing rhymes all day and shit sometimes. And the new job being less stressful, and I actually love my job and shit, everything going well, I think. And then no more hip hop weds. As much as I miss it, I don't miss all the planning and all the graphics and all this and all that. So it's like everything other than Wednesday is like a big stress thing that takes up a lot of my time. And with Bars Weekly and shit, so when I stop that, it's like I got time to just let the shit flow. And I slowly started writing more and more, and all of a sudden, boom, I'm just writing hella shit.
So
it's coming out. I'm liking it,
Let's talk about a little bit about the COVID thing, because I want people to kind of understand like what was going on in your life at that time. I believe it was March 12th, 13th is when they shut down SD. Around that
March
time,
19th.
Okay, around that time,
what was my wife's birthday and shit?
Perfect.
I was at the Glock store when I looked at the phone and I was like, oh shit, I don't think I'm going to work tomorrow.
Oh wow. Okay, so what was in the plans? Like what was coming with like Hip Hop Wins? Because one of the things that has been interesting about your journey, and I wonder if you find some satisfaction in this, is that you really, really did establish yourself as a center point for a lot of the culture in San Diego, but also just as a business person, people know you as that. People know you, Kahlee, as a business person. His events are always really tight. Everything is really well organized. You put in a lot of work to make that part of your brand blow up, and then it kind of just stopped. Out of your control this time, you know what I mean? Like completely out of your control. Where was Hip Hop Wins, and what were like the future plans, and how did that get interrupted?
I know you already, obviously, because none of that shit, all that shit you said is true. Thank you.
Yep.
But also, it's only true because of motherfuckers like you and Root and
Thank you,
Parker and shit. But especially you and Root, because us three holding it down, Nate and Rick. And anyways, we were on that Afro show. And we were in the middle of transitioning, finally God or whoever was like, you know what, man, you've been in this place too long. We're going to get you up out of there. You dragging your feet on finding a new place. We're going to get you up out of there. So we started doing a couple other shows here at the Space Bar at Winston's with Alo. We did a couple collabos. I was calling it the Tour of San Diego, like the Tour of Italy and the Olive Garden and shit. Then we hooked up with U31, and it's like, yo, this might be the spot that I think we want to, be in and shit.
Yeah.
And because it fit our vibe. It's like an upgraded version of where we were at. And so
it was bigger.
That Afro.
We could have feed our crowd better. Yeah.
It was like almost twice the size. I think it is twice the size
Yeah,
actually,
for
and
sure,
it's
for
like the
sure.
same vibe. It's just bigger and better. You know, the
Yeah,
people are better. The owner's not shady. Anyways, we started doing that, and then we had this Afro event with 60 East and Afro, and it was about to be dope. I was really excited.
yeah,
Ninja Turtle flyer.
yeah,
And man, it just starts happening. And it's like, you know, it's the flu. The flu is this. It's not that big of a deal. Oh, Republicans this, Democrats this.
yeah,
My friend's a nurse, and my friend's a doctor, and my friend's a scientist. Shut your ass up. You don't know. None of us know, and neither do they.
yeah,
So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep it safe as possible. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do. I don't know. But in the meantime, until we're like shut down, let's try to work towards it. So we started, you know, it's cancer. Nah, you know what? We got this new venue. We're gonna do it here.
yeah,
We're gonna do this. No, we're not. Just kidding. So it was a lot of back and forth. And finally, we get it locked in. It's gonna be our first show with U31. You know, anytime you do a first business thing with somebody, a business venture, it's a big deal.
sure.
But then we're like, it's looking like it's shut down. The city shut down, but the venues weren't shut down. But then it was like, well, maybe we'll let them do this. Maybe we won't. Nothing was for sure. Even you hearing our governor, we don't know. It's
Right,
not
right.
now.
It was
Governor said
changing
some shit.
almost
We're like,
weekly at that time. Yeah,
yo, and you were one of the people who are like, yo, this shit really, everything about to be shut down. And I'm just like, because none of us been through this shit.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Ever. Or maybe like our grandparents, some people alive. Matter of
Hmm.
fact, some lady was like 107, 107 years old. She survived COVID and the Spanish flu. I
Oh
just read
wow,
that shit.
like
But
1912, I
anyways,
think.
man, yeah,
Yeah,
really early, bro. That shit is
yeah,
crazy. But basically, man, I remember telling the manager there, like, yo, man, we just gonna have to cancel. Everybody is like kind of not feeling good about it. And I'm kind of worried too, even though I don't really know how serious it is quite yet, because it's still early. Even though shutting the state down, because it wasn't just a city, shutting the state down was pretty serious.
yeah,
And then we did that, and by the time the show came, everything was shut down anyway, so we didn't have to make the decision, you know. And then
yeah.
going through it again with Thought Fest with 60 and our group text, where it's like, should we do it? Should we not? And then it's like, don't worry about it, guys. We got this. We're gonna shut everything down, and y'all not gonna even have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
just a lot of that, man. And oh, it's going to be back by the summer. Maybe it's going to be this. And I'm like, oh, this is perfect because by June, you know, and that's how we're thinking. In a couple months, we're going to be able to do this. And I had I had some shit booked for the Casbah. I had some shit booked for the Soda Bar. So we're getting in other dope, bigger venues out here um, to do some cool events, man. And you
yeah.
know, obviously this fucked all that up, but it's you know, it's all good when we
What's your
get back.
opinion, man, on that? Like you obviously have you've thrown events, and then you've had consistent branded events for fuck almost what was it almost 2 years, 3 years? It
It
feels
was
like
over 3. Yeah,
y-
3 years is like October is the 3 year official 3 year
oh wow, that's
next
already
month,
here,
man.
man. That's so crazy. But yeah, you I mean like
Actually, I
real
think that's 4 years. I'm not sure, but I think I could
maybe.
be wrong. Nah, you know what? It
No,
is
no,
three
because we had the
years.
anniversary, second anniversary, then third. Yeah,
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
have been third year. Yeah, so
So we coming up on 3.
but the thing is, like, you became an expert at that, and like, it's interesting to watch. I've said this a few times on the show. Like, there's been a lot of our friends who really thrive on like the social and live aspects of what we do, and it's been really tough for those people. A lot of them, at least. There's been a lot, and because it's I guess it isn't. This is the COVID for me has definitely shown that it's not as easy to transition um, as an artist as people think, right? Like, because a lot of people who were mostly doing live shows, some of those people aren't here. That's just real shit. They're not even doing anything anymore because that's what they were thriving on. And then there
That
was
was
people,
all they did.
right, and that's gotta suck. I feel for them, but also at the same time, like that you have this amazing pen in your pocket. Like you knew that there was this. If I had to like really go back to me being an artist again, did you have that in your mind? Like, yo, I could do it. Like, if I got to put this shit aside then and go back to being an artist full time again, good, I do it.
So I was thinking about doing podcasting because I had
Gotcha.
already purchased like all my camera equipment back in fucking November of 2019 and not
Yeah,
even set it up once. I had cuffed my job and I still have it, but I haven't been active with it because I'm transitioning into a studio.
yeah,
Things went down and we lost the opportunity for that studio. So I was like, fuck, okay. So now what do we do? And I got all these ideas and I'm about to do. It's not like I decided I'm going to start writing again so that I could do this in the time where I have available. I just started writing.
Yeah.
It's not like I haven't tried to write in the last few years. It's just, well, the other thing is I got a family, man. So it's rare that I could just come in here and have an hour to myself to barely start writing on, minute 58. And now I'm in my
Right.
groove and it's time to put my kids to sleep or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think I tweeted some shit a few months back where I'm like, I'm not writing, I'm creating a switch because it was like, Uptown Sweet, that motherfucker has written like a whole album and recorded the shit in literally a 24-hour span.
I remember you telling
And
me.
I've at this point maybe one or two songs I've written in a day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But since June, I've done that quite a few times. So it's like teaching myself how to turn it on, and I'll be in my studio right here. You know what I mean? Typing
Yeah.
up a song, just playing the beat over and over again with the door open. My daughter comes in, she messes around a little bit. I play with her for like a quick couple minutes, and then I'm like, all right, babe, let me get back to writing. Go play in the living room or whatever, and then she'll dip out, and I just go right back like I didn't even stop. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that alone is crazy to me, and I'm appreciative of that. But just doing that, it's like I finally, you know what it feels like, man? When I woke up June 8th and I was 30 years old, I swear I started like limping. That was the first time I woke up, was like, oh shit. Ugh, what's going on? Like literally my biological clock was like, oh, you 30 now. You ain't hurting enough. And I really feel like sometime in like June, because I've been doing this, I know I got that 10,000 plus hours,
For
but at the
sure.
same time, it was like a switch went off. And all of a sudden I was like flowing straight from here to the paper or to the computer or whatever, you know what I mean, or my
Yeah.
phone and shit, just coming out, dog. And I also, the other thing, and we've had your version of this conversation too, where it's like I'm just doing what's comfortable to me, man, and I'm not that I ever chased like some kind of flow or some kind of like style, but there will be times where I'm like, let me try to make something a little more catering to this crowd that dumb down my shit, but not be so bar heavy. And it's like, I'm just writing, bro. I know what I want to say, and I'm saying what I want to say, and however the fuck it comes out, it's cool if you ain't liking it, because I'm not tripping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wrote a bunch of shit, super bar heavy, but man, super like the bars, I at least I feel, and the people who heard it, they don't take away from what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying some deep shit. So
Yes.
socially and not healthy, we got jobs. I'm not trying to be $1 million rapper, bro. If I make money, I'm down. I'm not trying to make dough. I mean, I'm making dough off of it.
Right.
But this is not the place where I need to compromise myself. This is the place where I get to release myself and do some shit that'll hopefully help other people to be in the same mind state, man. So
Dope.
I'm no longer interested in, doesn't mean if you try to hit me up, be like, yo, here's the topic, here's the concept of the track, let's try to do this. That's different.
Right.
But other than that, man, I'm just really
Speaking your
having
truth.
fun. Yep.
Yep.
Having fun. Because when we're having a conversation, I might look for the right words to explain some shit, especially if it's like a heated debate of some sort. But I'm not like trying to talk to you in a certain manner per se, you know what I mean? Not
Right.
unless I feel I have to. So why am I? And I'm really talking to people on these tracks, you know what I mean? Even when I'm talking about how dope I am,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even when there's no real topic. And I've just been blessed, man, and I'm just keeping the ball rolling.
I mean,
Just keeping it rolling.
I think one of the things that I found like the most interesting about, because I always think this is dope when, and it seems like it's I don't want to say it only happens to artists as they're leveling up, but I've only seen really good examples of this as people start to level up artistically or whatever that means to you. Usually it just means you're getting more open somehow, right? But your style has become even more original than it was before. Like it's become something that I think only you own now. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's no real like SD State of Mind is a perfect example. By the way, if you guys are listening to this anywhere podcasts are found, go to Platform Collection because the link's going to be right there and the album's on the front page. But SD State of Mind, the flow, the cadence was something I had never heard you do before, and to me it sounded like, oh, he really found his sound, like, or it found you. You know what I mean? Like whatever it was, But it does.
Whatever.
It's weird that it sounds different. You know what I mean? Like it sounds different than you ever have before. And like I said, I've only seen that after 300 of these, bro. Like I've only seen people do that as they start to artistically level up. And for sure, there's various reasons that can happen, but for sure, it is always like a level up. And it seems like that's what's happened with you. Did you, as you were spitting, like, let's take SD State of Mind, because we're talking about the record anyways. Let's take SD State of Mind. As you were making that project, did you know, like, did it feel like, oh shit, I'm flowing this a little different than I normally would? Like, or was that the production that brought that out? Like, what was it?
Definitely the production. I mean, it was on some, I called it SD State of Mind because when I heard it, I was like, this is some New York State of Mind shit. Like the beat, you know, I really love that beat. Minute I heard it, the millisecond I heard it, I was like, ooh, this is, matter of fact, I thought I heard the beat before that. I felt like this is like a different take on like a modern New York State of Mind. Anyways, you know how like sometimes I'll be freestyling at Hip Hop Wes, let's say, and it's like I could be kicking like a cool freestyle. I'm talking about stuff. Sometimes it's like I'm not really saying nothing, but like if you listen to my like I'm really focusing on my patterns and clever. It's like literally my workout. You know what I'm saying? Exercise to get my rhymes better. And I'm not worried about trying to say something right now. I'm worried about how I say it. And like when I was writing SD State of Mind, for instance, and the last few tracks, but everything since, matter of fact, I've really just been having fun practicing different patterns. You know, and with Ralph's beats being so different from what I'm used to, and you know, you can't help but to be influenced by, say, 18 Scales. I mean, I'm a fan of everything that Ralph's ever done. But obviously the 18 Scale shit is some of my favorite shit, you know.
Absolutely.
So of course I'm gonna like be inspired of it. And then the way I do things is like I'm always trying to go left field, like, which is one of the reasons why I feel like Hip Hop Wedge and Bars Weekly and these things that I've been involved with, it's one of the big reasons why it's done well, because it's not exactly what it's familiar, but it's different from what people are used to.
It has its own place.
Yup. And we really put that heart and soul into the shit and into the little things, the nooks and crannies, not just the overall shit. Oh, I'm rapping. That's the easiest part of the whole thing.
Right.
Everything else, that's hard. So like, yeah, I definitely noticed it was something different. And all I was doing is if rhyming is me taking a walk in my neighborhood, whenever I look like I was in such a too familiar of a place, I took a left turn. You know what I mean? And I really tried to focus on like just flows and shit. I try to get in these little flows and shit and just go with it, because normally I wouldn't do that, you know?
Yeah, it seemed very effortless. I mean, I know it's not, because you're obviously telling me all the stuff that went into it, but I think there's something to that when you say, when the art is like, it's this complex, but it sounds so easy for you. You know what I mean? It seems, it seems very... It seemed like you just smashed it.
Whack.
Yeah.
It might sound whack. It wasn't effortless, but dog, it wasn't that complex. Like, I think the complexity that I was putting to it, like other things, sometimes we just overthink shit.
Yeah.
Or we're so used to something one way, we have to unbrainwash ourselves or unfuck ourselves somehow, and then reintroduce ourselves to something we're already familiar with in a different way. You know what I mean? So, you know, I don't know, bro. Use your left hand instead of your right hand.
Yeah.
Like somebody different.
You were forcing the change into your own life, like, pretty much, right?
Yeah, like, man. I mean, just for a quick message.
Yeah.
If you're not doing that right now, you fucking up.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
And like, I really took that to heart, not just on the music, because there's a lot. Look, I don't know if you notice I'm talking funny. I got Invisalign on right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of shit I'm doing different, dog.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to improve myself in every which way, working out more, eating better. You know, I already lost a bunch of weight at the end of last year.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just trying to stay on my game, family shit, like everything, dog. And you're going to hear in the music too, like, throughout the year, you're going to hear more shit, and just, man, we gotta be utilizing this time, bro.
It's super weird too, right? Like that, that when you look at it, like, in retrospect, you're like, oh shit, like all that, everything you've ever done literally has brought you to this point, right? Even the things that you were like, fuck that thing for happening, fuck this, you know what I mean? But it literally, you would not be getting this right now if all that shit didn't happen.
Without it, right?
Yeah. And it's it speaks to that thing of like, well, I knew you could never quit. We've had this conversation many times. I feel in my heart like this is something like it's just a part of you. You're always going to have some foot in this no matter what, right? And for sure I thought as you started to get more business minded, I wondered. I was like I wondered. In fact I would talk to you about that all the time. Like, yo, are we going to get a project, or is that ever going to happen? And because I started to wonder, like, yo, I wonder if that just wear off? Like, does it just wear off and go away?
For some people.
Yeah, for some people, for right? Me. Yeah.
But I'm getting my fix every week, so it's not like I'm not rapping. And
I think that's what it was.
Element,
I think so that's what it was.
I didn't realize that, like, I needed it so much. And I did try and I did want to do it. But you know what started bothering me, dog? And it's not like everything was great besides this, but one of the major factors, I'd say the straw that broke the camel's back to make me do keto and lose 30 pounds, bro, was because my breath control, dog. And I wasn't remembering shit. And it's like, I was freestyling because I didn't remember rhymes. You know what I'm saying? And it's like practicing the rhymes, I remember them. But I'm not performing. Why am I memorizing a bunch of 16s that I'm not gonna perform? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just freestyle. And I like freestyles. I feel like, you know, if you're my kind of MC, you should be decent at freestyle.
Yeah.
But I had that, and then I got to the point where it's like, man, I want to write again. I'm hearing people who are dope, and it don't really bother me, but it's like, come on, yo, you're going to keep on giving these brothers all this love, and they deserve it, but you better stop ignoring me when I just murdered it harder than both of them, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, different versions of that. And it's like, cool. Instead of being a crybaby like other people who might, like, encounter that situation, because if you're my homie and people are saying you're dope and I agree, my problem is not with you. My problem is with me. I need to step my game up so that not like I'm using this as an example, but the idea that I'm not living up to someone's expectations is just fuel for me to do it. And if it's something I don't care about, then I don't care. But being a dope MC and other people feeling my shit is something that I like. So fuck it, start getting back to them rhymes, because not like I don't want to.
Right.
So I lost weight, and there's a lot of reasons. I mean, I felt great. I changed my life. But another thing is, like, it made me realize that I could do shit that I thought I couldn't do by changing my eating habits and, like, fasting, fucking all this shit. Like, it really made me realize that I could accomplish things I didn't think that I could do.
Yeah, I could see it.
I get way harder than it would be. Yeah, and all that shit rolled over into everything else I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Because you were pushing past like thresholds that you thought existed, and then once you're past them, you can't see them ever again, right? Because you already know, oh yeah, I can do that.
You could see them.
Yeah,
you could see them, like, you running in a race and they right there.
Yeah.
If I eat too much ice cream, because I ain't been on keto since the new year, you know what I'm saying? But I keep it low carb or whatever. And the reason why I bring it up is because I be eating ice cream and shit. I be eating all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's when I start doing it every single day is when I start fucking up, and then I gotta, do something, to check myself. And that's some literal shit, but it's also some metaphorical shit, man. Because you slacking? Well, right now I ain't had no new beats in a minute, so I hit up a couple people, and I should have some beats in my mailbox by the end of the night, and working towards it. But I also got shit I got to record and edit. You know what I mean? I just been working, bro. I got Doobie hit me up right now. He making beats. He's texting me.
A Doobie Kahlee record would be dope. That's almost a must.
I got one that has to happen. It was gonna be his shit. His beats are fly right now. Yeah, man. I'm really hyped.
Yeah. Let me talk to you about this. Was there? What do you feel like Ralph kind of brought to the, other than, obviously the production, but I mean, to the project in itself, like that energy? Because you'd been talking about working with Ralph for on and off for a while. But did you feel like the time, I mean, what was it? Was it just the timing was right? Like, why did it finally produce this? I mean, obviously it was worth the wait.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, I don't think I allowed Ralph enough time to do what Ralph does. Like, there's no skits on there. There's no interludes or anything. And those are things that I know he wanted to do.
Yeah.
But we didn't have time to do that because he was down and he made it happen, and I didn't hear no complaining or nothing. I just know what he can do. And we didn't end up doing it. He's got projects with all these people. I don't want to say it because I don't know if people are supposed to know or what. Right. But I mean, just having 18 scales is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? And he's got, like, all these other projects he's doing with. I can't wait to hear these projects, by the way.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to doing this next EP with him and what he's gonna do to it. And we have ideas to tie everything in. Like we're dropping physical CDs with the rest of our merch. We're gonna come with something better. We weren't about to drop a cassette for 3 or 4 songs, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But we really got some things in the works, especially for the next EP. So I'm just excited to see the growth between us. And also we hooked up like that last day around, we'll say March 20th, 21st, that weekend
Oh
after we
wow.
shut down. And I
Oh
went to the studio with him and shit. And after that, I didn't go back to the studio with him. Everything else we did was over, computer and fucking phone, which for me ain't a thing.
yeah.
And I know it ain't for you either. That's kind of
Yeah.
how we work, right? But he's somebody who really vibes and shit. And I know if I went and vibed with him, we would
You'd
have
get
got shit
something
done,
different. Yeah. Yeah.
got
Yeah.
more done. Yup. Everything would have
Yeah.
been different. So I'm happy that he's just down to go with the flow and work. But I'm very excited to see something that's more, I guess, overall produced by him. Like he has more time to do what he does, man,
Yeah.
because that's one of the things that makes him great. I mean,
Where you
making
get to
dope
be
beats.
like in his element for a while and just sit
And
in
he
his
got a new
element. Yeah.
studio. Like he was building a studio when I was there. It wasn't
Oh
ready
wow.
yet. I recorded shit at my studio and sent it to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Next time I'm gonna be in his studio. We're gonna be working together. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very excited. I'm very
Dope. So
excited, man.
once again, guys, platformcollection.com. Go there, get that record, SD State of Mind. Do you now moving forward, right? Like moving forward from this project, and I want people to sit with this project though. Like that's for sure. I want people to sit with this project. I want
That's
people to
hard.
take in this project.
Mhm.
But I'm excited. You know what I mean? Like I'm excited as a fan, from the fan standpoint. I'm like, yo, and you performed at Roots, DJ Roots' birthday, streamed
Super
live on
fun.
Twitch, which is really, really dope. Everybody killed it. But I mean,
It almost felt like hip hop wins, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. This is no diss to anybody, but I was waiting on you. I was waiting the whole time. I was waiting. Like, let's go. I almost hit up Root, and I was like, "Yo, can you just put him on like first?"
I wanted him to put me on sooner because,
Yeah,
dude, Ralph is I'm gonna check in on him, but I'm sure he's fine. He just got a cold, but he wasn't comfortable with coming because he had a
yeah,
cold.
yeah.
And so that changed everything. Like me and Ralph about the headline, it makes sense because it's our album release. But
Yeah.
if you just look at the lineup, you know what I mean? 18 Scale should be headline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But because of the situation, I could see me going on last.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Again, but then Ralph's not there. Now that changes everything. It's not necessarily, I talked to Rick. I was trying to, let's just do something fun between us and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it just didn't happen like that because of the order. So he still came up and did a song with me, but for a minute there, I was like, I shouldn't. But then once, it's your turn to go on, and I was antsy. I was ready to get the mic.
Yeah, I was wondering the whole time I was watching. I was like, I wonder what Kahlee is right now. Like, is he stretching?
It was
is
super
he?
fun, man.
Yeah,
I was stretching in the side, but there wasn't
go,
a lot of room, bro.
Guys, I think it's NSDJ Root. NSDJ underscore Root. NSDJ underscore Root on Twitch to watch it. It's fucking dope. I know he said he's gonna download it and upload it.
Yeah, sdstateofmind.com is where you can find everything that with the project, from the merch to the music to links to me and Ralph, and also
even better.
Top button right there. The top button is the Twitch. It goes directly to DJ Root's Twitch.
Hell yeah! So that but yeah, dude, like I was super excited for that. I was super eager to see what it was. I'm gonna say this is real shit, bro. On my mom, there was a point where you gave me chill. You probably know what it was. Like, you were just barring out, and I know it was on SD State of Mind, but I heard over your mic the crowd, like not the crowd, but I mean, I know there wasn't a million people there. There was a few
like
people
10,
there.
12,
right. They were being
10,
safe.
10 people probably.
Yeah, but I heard those 10 people go. It was like a like a rush, and I heard people go, oh, and like there's no way you could know this, but I felt that shit through the screen. I was like, yeah, that was the moment. Like, that was what I had been waiting for. Because there's just that, even out of the curiosity, like, yo, are we going to see a moment like that? Is that going to, is that where he's at? Yeah, because it is hard, especially with a small amount of people. That's why it means even more when it does happen, when you can't control it. You know what I mean? Like, because I couldn't control it. I was just like, ooh, shit. Like I looked at my arm, I had I'm getting it right now. But I got chills because I was just like, yeah, like he's back in that groove. Like you could see it. Like, and you could see that you were happy too. You know what I mean? Like you were happy with what you had made, like that's gotta feel great, man.
I fucked up a bunch too, and I wasn't even tripping because like the vibe of everything, it was like a real show. Like, it's harder to rap in front of less people than more people,
for
right?
sure.
Especially when it's like 10. But I knew everybody and shit. And but still, you know what I mean? That's your peers, MCs you respect and shit, and then like producers you respect. But I just went in, and I don't know if you've ever seen me practice, but even when I rehearse, I'm like going in like it's a real show. So I literally looked at it like the camera's who I'm rocking with. But as I'm rocking with the camera, it was a familiar feeling when somebody looked like they weren't feeling you, and they just be like this.
Yeah.
And I'd be rapping all in their face while the person next to him is like, yeah. And I'm like showing this fool all this attention.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that. I'm showing the camera all this attention. And I realized people got their hands up and they're saying words. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, I'm fucking up. Let me like treat this like a real show and perform.
Yeah.
And as I did that, they got into it like it was a regular show. And it was dope, man. And that happened immediately. So I had a whole set, to like do that with. It's not like it wasn't till the end. And it was just consistent, man. And it was fun, bro. It really felt like a real show,
I feel like the project is like it's one of those things like, for people who aren't from San Diego, right? Like when they play a track, when they play LPSD, right? When they drop that LPSD track, everybody knows it. If super dopeness, everybody knows that shit, right? I feel like you made one of those, bro. Like I feel like this is one of those things that people are gonna play like every time it comes on, because the beat is ridiculous, by the way. Like it is ridiculous. But yeah, it feels like that, and that was the vibe I got when I saw it. I was like, oh shit, this fool made a classic. Like this is a classic.
And Odessa Kane on it. Odessa murdered it.
Wow.
I write with shards of glass. I don't even know what he says sometimes, bro. He's killing it. He's killing it. That line is dope.
Yeah, man.
He's killing it.
Yeah,
dude. So I'm really excited, bro.
So let me talk to you about moving forward a little bit. Like you have some stuff. Well, are you able to talk about the projects that you're?
I'm down to talk about everything, bro.
Cool. So
it's only gonna make people either not care or they're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm looking forward to that."
Word. What comes directly after this project?
Okay, so I'm gonna tiptoe around this one.
Okay.
There's something that's directly attached to this project that's gonna come out before anything else that I do. Now I got features that'll be coming out. I think I got 2 songs I'm featured on in October. That'll be dropping.
Yeah.
Next month or whenever this comes out.
It's October.
So I have a few songs that I featured on. Basically, man, I'm using this time amongst other things to really get with other MCs that I've always wanted to rock with, other producers and a lot of SD homies too.
Yeah.
Really doing shit with people. And I see these songs coming out over the next few months as well. Those ones I won't say because that's not my song, but as soon as they come out, I'll say I got some with the homie Dan Diggable and DJ Eyeball, fresh day homie DJ Eyeball, and it's me and Definite Mass on it. That was dope. Actually, that was the track that got me back into writing and shit. That song and that fucking cipher that I did for Sojourn. So that's coming out, and then I got this other track. It'll be featuring a couple people. We'll say that, and it's gonna be really dope. And it's some SD shit.
And is that that's your track or like
it'll be my shit?
Okay,
like
cool.
I says, directly connected to the
this
SD
project.
State of Mind record.
Gotcha.
We'll say that. Yeah,
cool.
It's not on the record, but it's kind of on the record. But anyways, we'll keep this off the record. Anyways, so there's that, and then I got I'm doing a project with Carino. I'm doing like I'm not gonna get so specific with it, but it's we'll call it an extended play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll call it an EP, and it's a concept record, and it's me, Carino on the beats. Carino will obviously be working the cam, and Dev Love is gonna be featured on it as well, which I'm super excited about.
Super
dope. What I mean? So that's a San Diego record too, but content wise, it's just some real ass shit, and it's gonna be different from the shit I'm doing with Ralph. Not just sonically, but my style, man. I've been able to really just flip styles, and it's on some grown man shit. I remember us being in a car ride one time, and you and I talking about like you're just like how are you gonna do your next record? Like how are you gonna keep it on that grown man shit? but not be the same shit, and we're kind of just thinking together about like
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it's gonna
yeah.
sound like and shit, and like this is what it sounded like. You know what I'm
Dope.
saying? This SD State of Mind is just a reintroduction, bro, and that's it. Building Buildings is a good example of what you could expect to hear from your boy. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's good music, it's bar heavy, but it's also a lot of jewels in there and just some real shit. The type of, again, like if we have a conversation, it's very possible that this is a conversation you're having with somebody. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? The
yeah,
way you feel when you hear a dope podcast, you feel like you're in the conversation.
yeah,
That's how I would like you to feel when you hear some of these songs. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
anyways,
yeah.
Carino got that with Carino and Dev Love. Really excited about that. I'm also working on a record. Well, I'm just doing some last minute edits before I send it to Nate. Nate produced a project. It's going to be called Soapbox Chronicles. I'm
Oh
really hype
wow.
about that.
Why
5 songs.
the title? Can you explain it?
So this record will be more of a socially conscious records, you know what I mean? Talking
Mm-hmm.
about some things that's going on in the world, and I don't get too political. And usually when I do it, if you think about it, I'm rarely talking about a specific side. I'm more talking about
Right.
the intention behind the decisions being made and the ego behind the
Yeah.
team that you choose to be behind, motherfucker. You riding an elephant or a donkey. I gives no fucks about colors. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Reds and
Yeah.
blues and Democrats and Republicans. Like I'm usually like, okay, whatever. So you're gonna hear a lot of this on Soapbox Chronicles, and I mean, shit, I'm on my soapbox, bro. You know what I'm saying? But
How did
man, dude,
the
I'm really hyped.
why an eight? Why an eight? I mean,
First of all, you
obviously, I
already know
know.
he dope.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, he's one of the dopest
and
around. But why did
if
that
you've not,
happen? Why did
if
the connection
so,
happen?
if that album Ways to Go came out, and Nate's last album, if you have not given Ways to
Oh
Go
my
a
God, such an
chance,
amazing
you might
project.
be tripping so hard that you're gonna bust your face and break a bone.
Yeah.
Give Nate Ways to Go a good listen, a
Mm-hmm.
few listens. That's one of my favorite albums of all time, man.
Yeah.
He produced it, he did all the vocals, he sang on a lot of the hooks. Like he's amazing.
Yeah.
So after that, I mean, I had already been working with him because that's the homie, but I did a song with him because he got a record with Ralph Quasar coming out, produced by Ralph Quasar. Did a record with him. He had already sent me some beats, and I loved them, but I wasn't feeling the pen. You know what I mean? And as I started writing again, I'm like looking for beats. I'm like, fuck, Ralph hasn't sent me no new beats. I'm waiting on some shit. I'm like, oh shit, I got these innate beats. So I dug in there and I was like, oh, these are fucking fire. So I just started writing, bro. And we'll say this, man, my favorite MC has always kind of been, but now for sure is Black Thought. Black
Yeah.
Thought always been in my top five, but over
Same.
this last couple years, he's clearly before the Funkmaster Flex shit had happened, he was already like my top tier MC.
Right.
The way he spits is just my shit. You know what I mean? And I think you may see some similarities in that, especially now that I've told you. But I went into this record very much in that mind state when I started writing,
Mm.
and it just went from there. I sent you one of the songs, that World's Gone Crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first one I did, and from there it just went on. You know what I'm saying? I'll give
Wow.
you some titles. You ain't gonna have any idea what I'm talking about, but first song is World Gone Crazy. The second song is called Devil in the Phone Screen. The
Uh-oh.
third song I think is probably gonna be called Fuck Mediocrity. You know what I mean? We'll
I
see.
like that one.
The fourth the fourth song is called Recreational Outrage, and the fifth song is called On the Fence. It's all me. I
Yeah.
might have a feature, we'll see. But oh well, the feature, I got Nate on the track,
Yeah.
doing the hook on the track. And then other than that, I might have one other feature, but it's just, man, I'm super hyped. And that's gonna come out. I'm gonna start the promotion for that in November, and it's gonna come out in December. And
Oh wow, before
we
the
got
end of
some
the
cool
year. We're getting this
ideas.
before the end of the year. That's like,
Yeah, bro.
I mean, we're rolling. It's October. Wow. Okay, so it's right there. So we got
See,
a
that's the
dope
thing.
Christmas present coming.
You for sure getting that in December.
Yeah.
And then, the reality is we're not going to rush the Carino Dev Love project too much. It
Mm-hmm.
looks like right now we'll refer to it as Gratitude. We're not going to rush Gratitude too much because we need the video to be done right, because it's really going to be a continuous art piece. You know what I
Got
mean?
you.
So
Got you.
you're not going to get the audio. Obviously, people can rip the YouTube video or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's going to first be presented to you as a video, and that's what you're going to get.
That's
You know what I
dope.
mean? So if we can't get that right between now and November, then it'll come out in December or early January. You know what I mean? But man, I'm really trying to get that out and then roll into this It's hard because you're so excited, and a lot of these things are not time sensitive. But if you could crack the code and get it out in the right time, it really can connect with you because of what's going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? So the
Yeah.
things I'm talking about in Soapbox Chronicles is always going to be relevant, but it's never going to be as relevant as when a fucking new president is, chosen to rule our earth. You know what I mean? Fuck, we really in a shit show, bro.
Yeah, we can talk about. I definitely want to hear
You
your
want this
opinions on
asshole
some
to
of that
fucking
stuff.
piss us off? You want this asshole to piss us off?
Yeah. So,
Anyway.
do you? I want to kind of tap your just. I mean, obviously, like nobody really knows what's in front of us and what's kind of on its way. But do you have a point that you've picked in your mind, kind of like, oh, I think things might start going back to normal around this time? Because I want to talk to like a promoter person, like, you know what I mean, someone who throws shows. Have you heard anything? Have you started thinking?
I've not heard no like inside track on shit.
Yeah.
But I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I see what's going on. And the reality is, first of all, if tomorrow they're like, yo, we're good to go, you guys can throw shows again, like, go ahead, throw some shows, see how it goes.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the vaccine. Yo, we got the vaccine.
Yeah,
all right, everybody rush to get it. Oh, you don't have a gun to my head? Okay, we'll see how it goes.
Right.
Let me know. I want to take the vaccine. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. You know what I'm saying? But am I going to be the first million people to take it? No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All you guys take it, that just makes me safer. I'm going to still keep my distance. I'm going to still probably be wearing a mask so I don't spit all over your fucking faces. Talk about that. How you don't think a mask is going to help when you spitting all over people when you talking shit?
I know, man.
Like, just go like this, the shit helps.
Yeah.
But a mask don't. Anyways, whatever.
So nothing that way. What about we are slowly creeping on what will most likely be the election of our lifetime, as far as influential. We're creeping up on November. I mean, how are you feeling about like what's going on in the world? I mean, are you scared? Are you worried about it? Like, I mean, what do you think?
I don't know how you cannot be worried about it.
Yeah.
I get that some people are just so focused on one side being a piece of shit that they're just like so happy with a savior.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's exactly how a lot of these racist rednecks felt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they were
that's
wrong,
real.
But whatever. They
that's
don't
real.
know they're wrong, and that's kind of the point. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of Kamala Harris. I mean, I hate that bitch.
Me neither.
You know what I'm saying? She's a piece of trash. But the reality is, you don't get to where you're going. You don't get to this level without being a piece of trash. Look at Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a piece of trash like everybody else. I'm sure he did some stuff he shouldn't have done. Because again, you don't even get to that level.
Right.
But if he was more a piece of trash, he probably would be there instead of Biden right now. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Or possibly he'd be there against a Republican candidate this year. You know what I'm saying? Who knows?
Yeah.
Second year they did this shit to him, and I think it's because he's not as much a piece of shit as these other people.
Right. He's not willing to go to that level. Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
None of us know. Mm-hmm. And if you're on Facebook, you definitely don't know. Just so you know.
Yes.
Get off of it.
I agree.
That's what On the Fence is about, man. But anyways, we're not gonna get into that. Okay. But yeah, man, like everybody sucks, bro. Yeah. Everybody sucks. With the lesser of both evils. Oh, you didn't know we was doing that for the last fucking however many years we've been having a president?
Right.
Shit.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking no matter who it is. I mean, what I would like to see, obviously, what I would like to see is, I would like to see Trump go, but I am not hyped at all at seeing Biden come in. I feel like the moment he comes in, I would hope that the public just holds his feet to the fire, as in like, yo, don't think that you're just going to slide in here and we're going to forget everything we've been talking about. You are part of the problem as well. You know what I mean? We're willing to negotiate with you now instead of the other dude. That's all that changed.
Don't you think that fool is like trying to be Donald Trump and shit by the stupid shit I mean, I know he's like old and you know what I mean.
I think every politician is trying to play some variation
when he
of
says
Trump.
Dumb shit like, if you don't know who to vote for, you're not black. Like, that's you trying to do your version of Trump. Get the fuck out of here.
He was on the headlines all week because of that. That's exactly why he did that. you know?
Yeah, and that's fine. You know, whatever,
Yeah.
dude. Do your fucking thing. He had his fucking head cracked open and done surgery on. You know what I'm saying? Something's not fucking proper going on in there.
Well,
But what I'm really
he's 70 years old, bro. First of all,
yeah,
like, no
but I think Trump's
disrespect to our
72,
elder.
right?
Yeah, that's my point too. You literally could be
Yeah.
looking at someone who has complete Alzheimer's. We don't even know, right? Like, he literally could just be some dude.
He's on wires and shit.
For
Like people watch
sure. Yeah, for sure his brain has deteriorated slightly, as all of our brains will around that time. So yeah, I think the position is ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. Like, we do a popularity contest to find out who's going to run the most important job on the planet.
It's never been more of a popularity contest than it is now.
And it doesn't seem like that's going to reverse anytime soon, unfortunately. But yeah, man.
Know. But
yeah, I mean, hopefully.
I'm with you.
I think that it's interesting. You know what I do? You know what's been a kind of a bad hobby of mine lately is, because I shouldn't be watching this shit at all, but the news I do watch is I tend to watch news from Australia and Europe about us, right? And how they talk about us. Like, what are they saying? Because obviously I know what we're going to say. Right, America's we read scripts on the news,
This channel says this,
yes,
that channel says
and you
that.
can call it out, right? Before you even watch it, you already know what it's going to be. But in Australia, it's weird to hear them reference the U.S. and they talk about us like it's Rome is falling, like, right? Like, the world is watching, everything is contingent on the world with this next election. Like, they're literally looking at it like, oh man, I hope they get it right, because if not, it looks like everything's going to go to shit. Like, that's scary to me when these countries who don't really have their ball, the ball's not in Australia's not in the game. You know what I mean? Like, they kind of sit on the sidelines when it comes to world politics, but they're deeply worried because they know, like, shit, if that falls, then that's probably the beginning of the dominoes. You know what I mean? Like, at least for free democratic countries that we're used to, right? Basically, where you can go somewhere and say whatever you want to say, right? Those days might be coming to an end very soon,
I mean, I think it depends what skin color you are, but I feel you. Mm-hmm. That's just crazy. That's just definitely crazy. But every empire falls. I just hope that we don't have to crumble. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, fall and get back up type shit.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why it can't happen. And we're in a position, I mean, as long as there ain't no martial law shit, I feel like we could keep it moving. I've been watching Hamilton like every fucking day.
I know, man. Now I gotta watch it because bro,
you haven't seen it?
No, I hit you on Twitter. I was being serious about that. I hit him on Twitter and I was like, yo, I've been holding back, but fucking if Kahlee said he liked it, because I thought for sure you'd watch it and be like, man, fuck this bullshit. Like, this ain't hip hop, this ain't rap, this ain't.
I didn't expect to be like, this is dope. I expected to be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is pretty cool. I like how he was, whatever. And it's like, I wasn't looking forward to watching it necessarily. I was kind of like bullshit. My wife's like, I want to watch Hamilton. I'm like, all right, let's watch it. So we finally turned it on, right? And because it's like 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a quick one. So we sit down and watch it. And just for like the first 15 minutes, I was just like this, bro. Like, and I would look at her and she was like, yo, this is dope as fuck. But she didn't turn, like, she said it while she's looking. She's like, yo, this is dope as fuck. And then I'm just looking at the screen. I'm like, yo, this is dope as fuck. Like, it's just, I don't know what you expect. I mean, there's definitely like references to songs that we may know. Like, we'll know this came from this came from that.
Right.
It's dope. It ain't like, he ain't like Vanilla Ice, shit like that. It's
okay.
Like,
I mean, really, that's all I was scared about.
Lin-Manuel, what was his name?
Lin-Manuel Miranda. Yeah.
He went. I think he went to high school. On his wiki, it says that he went to high school with Immortal Technique. Immortal Technique used to bully him. It said they're friends now.
I mean, that seems right.
I don't know if that's true. Yeah, it does seem right. But you can tell like he's really about this shit. And I don't know everybody who wrote what and shit like that. You know what I mean? But I know he's a writer.
Yeah, he writes a lot of it.
Dude, like the descriptive rhymes that they do, and I'm sure you've heard some of like the intro songs I've done and the songs when I do something about something. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of shit to expect, dog. There's even like battle type shit in there, and like it's dope. If you're specifically, especially if you're a hip hop head who's like, this is gonna be corny. Like I can't say that there's no corny parts in it. But if you're into that, it ain't. It's just a dope ass. it deserves all the love and respect it's been getting, bro. I really don't have anything. I mean, I could nitpick and find things that I would have preferred it to be this, because there's some singing and stuff. Like, it's not bad. It's just I have my less favorite parts, and it's usually the singing parts.
Yeah.
But bro, shit is fire. Everything about it, I'm a fan of, dog. So I'm not trying to overhype it, but I think you'll enjoy it.
I mean, that's a big statement from you. I'm telling you. Like, I'm usually my reference point for something, like, especially something that's borrowed from hip hop. Like, if I need to know, yo, is this cheesy? Like, I'm gonna just go to Kahlee and be like, yo, Kahlee, what do you see? If you're like, fuck that shit, I'll be like, all right, well, I'll just skip that.
I'm gonna just say it, bro. If anybody out there is on some hip hop shit and they think this shit is whack, they're either straight hating or their gauge is fucked up and they need to be resynchronized. That's
gotcha.
it. That's
cool.
it. I don't care if KRS-One says
that's a big statement. Yeah.
I don't care if whoever the fuck says it. They're either hating or it's like, I don't care for their taste in music. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like you're gonna hear it and be like, I want to bang this shit in my car. Like, nah, this is you're enjoying this whole experience. Like, I can't imagine being there. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully one day we get the chance, but not for like $1 million. You know what I'm saying? But
no shit.
Dude, the shit is fire, dog. Like, you could say that you didn't love it, but you thought it was cool or shit like that. But if anybody says the shit's whack just because they're hip hop guys, they're hating, dude. That's what I think. You know
shit, that's all I need to hear.
Real talk. See that shit ASAP.
Yo, let me ask you this, dude. What about the podcast stuff? Like, you've been a host for as well. I mean, that's the other thing that people, I mean, Kahlee is like, we do a lot of the same shit when it comes to just putting in work into the game. He was hosting way before I was. He as a live host. But then you transitioned into your shows. You got Bars Weekly. Yeah, you had Cuff My Job, which I want to talk about because you don't cuff your job. I mean, you're not really saying that about your job anymore. Has that affected that? Like, are you finding time? Is it harder to reach in to find shit that you hate? You know?
So the hard shit, and we could talk, because you had some good ideas about it that I'm really, I guess I would say, in need of now, because it was one thing. So Cuff My Job started literally like, I knew I wanted to do a show about not liking my job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I really hated the last job I was in. I mean, it was terrible.
That's an understatement.
For 8 years. Yeah. 8 years, yo.
Yeah.
And one day I'm driving to work, and I just press record on my voice memo or whatever app on my iPhone. And because I've been doing Bars Weekly and we did Proof of Life Radio, I had the Status Escalate podcast.
Yep.
Like, I've done so many different podcasts. I jumped right into it, and I was just like, what's going on? I always say, what's going on? It's your man Kahlee. Everything I do, I usually start like that.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on? It's your man Kahlee. Today I'm going to do this, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, welcome to Cuff My Job. I just said it. I didn't know I was going to say it. It's just like Bars Weekly. Like, I started saying back with them bars. Like, it just came out, and I was like, oh, okay, that works. So every time I come back with them bars. I went right into it. I was like, welcome to Cuff My Job. And I was like, yeah, I think, it's just this and that, whatever. Start talking shit about the job. And I'm like talking shit about the job in general.
Yep.
Then, like, on my way home, I did something more specific about something that happened. Then the next day I do something about somebody at my job and how they're that type of person at their job, and talking about snitches and talking about people who suck at their job. And so they try to like put blame on other people, talk about this, talk about that, just all these things. And I was just doing it I didn't release it. I was just recording them, and I sent them to some people so they could hear, basically just talking shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, cause Michael Rappaport made me feel like, yo, cause he's a good shit talker, but I feel like I'm better. You know what I mean? In a different way.
Yeah.
So, I started doing it, and then, I started putting it on Spotify and shit. Then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make this a video show. It's time to transition into that. At the time, I had space in the studio, and so I bought all the shit. We talked a lot. We got the same cam, and I like started getting all the equipment, but I still had to put it up and take it down. I don't got a big enough space to leave it up.
Yeah, yeah.
And when the pandemic popped off, I did a few episodes, and trying to get it all right with the editing and the lighting, and I ran into problems, and just doing it, and still doing everything else. It's tough because I still got Bars Weekly. Every Tuesday I do Bars Weekly. No, every Wednesday I do Bars Weekly. Every Tuesday I do the Hip Hop Weds feature. We're still, since we're not doing shows, we're doing features every Wednesday on the
Super
IG
dope.
or hiphopweds.com.
It's like an online magazine article. Really well done. Shout out to Nate Witzel.
Yep. And so we're doing that. So, and then family. exercise, all these different things. You know what I'm saying? Spending time with my wife, spending time with my kids, writing. And then, I just fell off doing it because I kept running into shit, man. So then it's like, okay, about to get a studio. This is about to happen.
Yeah.
And then some shit came up not on our end, and we're getting held back. So hopefully by like next month, we'll see if we're gonna get that studio, and it might happen. Once we do that, my shit is set up. I'm good. I go in there and knock some shit out. But going back to the cuff my job, the other hard part was it's one thing to just start talking shit when something just happened. I could
Right.
go in.
Right.
The amount of things that I've recorded on the way home from hip hop weds at 2:30 a.m. on a Wednesday night /
Yeah.
Thursday morning is hilarious and it's
Yeah.
crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You used to
But that
even
shit
do
just happened.
going to hip hop wins. I remember you would go
Yep.
live on
Just all the
going.
time. Or I
Yeah.
would go live on the way, but
Mhm.
something would happen and I would record shit coming home,
Yeah.
and like do something with it one day. I don't know. But basically, when things were better at my new job, it's not like I can't still say something about everything. It's just I'm not talking about my job no more. I
Mhm.
can. There's things I could talk about. And as time progresses, we're not always gonna be like fuck my job, because I'm not trying to make you more upset about your job. Like the other
Right.
idea, we're clowning, we're having fun, and when I would talk shit about something, I'd actually be like, "This is what I feel like you need to do." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
ain't
Yeah.
do it. I suck, but maybe you have more, control than I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe like your defense mechanism is not talking shit to somebody till they can't, talk no more and they start shaking and leaving. I don't know. But
Yeah.
basically that was my thing. And when I didn't have that hatred in my heart, you know what I'm saying? And now I need like I'm not gonna say a co-host, but even if I had like a producer who was like behind the cam and he could
Yeah.
ask me some things and get me going, then I could get going. But I would sit in here, man, and they're like 15 to 20-minute episodes, and I would have a hard time going, bro, because I didn't know what to talk about, and I was
Yeah.
trying to keep it having an element of freestyle to it, because I feel like that's very important. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like knowing what you want to say and what you're going to say, but then leaving some space in there for like some off the cuff shit and spontaneous, ideas or whatever. Like that's important to me. You know what I mean? So as a listener, that's important to me. And so I try to keep that in what I do. Plus, that's just how I am. So it makes sense. So all that shit kind of got hard for me. And, since I had other, like my thing is like it's okay to chill and not do it for now, as long as you're still going hard at these other things. And I'm
Sure.
still going hard with
Yeah.
Bars Weekly. I'm
Is
still
it something
knocking
that you
out.
think you're going to return to for sure? Like
Oh yeah, it's not
podcasting?
done.
Yeah. Dope.
So I got Cuff My Job is going to be a podcast, and then I have this other thing called Roger That. Roger That is random ass jewels and hacks that help at times.
Oh shit.
Roger That will give me the opportunity to do anything from reviews to fucking if I want to do an unboxing.
And so, dude, I kind of feel like that's what you need. I think that's what you need. You need something that just give you the freedom, because I think what we have found, at least I hope you have found this as well. Like what I have found with your work is that what it is like your takes are really good, right? And they need to be spontaneous, because that's when obviously you're a freestyle guy. You know what I mean? Like it's part of the way your brain works already. So to just double down on that thing, to me, makes the most sense, right? Like it's just going to give you the best chance at creating the best content you can. And I do feel like this is one of the things I wanted to tell you earlier, but it ties into this as well. Is like when I look at you, I feel like, to me, you have always been one of those artists that, and I'm not bragging this at all. I'm not putting this brag on you, but because it hasn't always worked out. But you've been ahead of the curve a lot in your life, where
That shit don't work out sometimes, bro.
yeah, I feel you. But isn't it? It's weird though. Like, look, dude. Literally, what happened was the world slowed down. They stopped, and it gave you an opportunity to finally like sit with it. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is what I feel like. It's not like, oh, you caught up. I think like everything else kind of caught up now, and I feel like you making a show like that isn't something you'd have to explain to people anymore. They'll just get it. They'll understand, like, oh yeah, he just gives takes on whatever. You know what I mean? Like sometimes he's at his house, sometimes he's in his garden, sometimes he's opening shit. To me, all those things are very easily translatable now, because people are used to it, you know?
This is the thing, man. you know, I do a lot of different things. Everybody does different things. I don't know if people think because you're a rapper, like only shit you do is rap shit. You know,
Yeah.
you
Right,
be
right,
at
right.
the gas station like rapping
Yeah,
while you pump. I don't know,
yeah.
but like I got flowers, for
By
instance.
the
I
way,
got
most of those
plumerias,
dudes who
right?
do that are horrible.
They're not great.
Yeah,
Not great.
yeah.
All their shit that they wear is from the swap meet. I'm just saying it's cool,
Oh man.
but the hat from the liquor store, I don't know. But
Yeah,
I got plumeria plants, so I wanted to graft plants, right? That's when you mix like two plants, basically.
yeah,
Uh, so I go on there and I see people got millions of views, bro, and it's the worst video I ever see in my whole entire life.
yeah.
And it's not like I'm the most personality that you'll ever meet.
Right, right,
I
right, right.
feel like if you talking like this,
Nah,
and then they got thick accents too.
they're just
They're just like
occupying the
this.
space, bro.
Oh, I got my camera here. Hold on a
Yeah,
second. I got to do this. And they'll put the camera down, bro. They put the camera down for like a long time while they do some shit. And that's the shit they're supposed to be explaining to you.
yeah, yeah,
And they
yeah.
pick the camera up. They're like, see, as you'll see. It's like, bro. Or they'll be like, yo, I know you could see it. And they put the shit right here. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry. And you're sitting there for like 2 minutes while the thing focuses.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm looking at all this and I'm like, dude, this is killing me, man. Then I start noticing these are the things that I can't really find. You know, I got really into like this EDC shit, this everyday carry, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And you know, buying shit like knives and shit that I'm into that I need for work and like
Mm-hmm.
things that are like utilities for me that I actually need. But like
Yeah.
I started doing research and seeing like, oh shit, like this is a thing. Like people are dope at it. But nobody talks like me. Nobody talks like us. Nobody's
Yeah.
from our generation. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
When I bought a firearm, I did a lot of research and shit, and I seen that most of these cats are not in. You'll never see one of these people at our show. You know what I'm saying? They
Right, right, right,
probably,
right, right.
if they are, they were just a
Super
walk up, and
important.
they might have
Yep.
chilled, had a drink, and then left. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So it's like it's not just about some shit that you can't already find. You know what I'm saying? Like here, I'll drop a jewel on you right here. This mouse right here, bro, you need this mouse. This is a gamer mouse. I don't know if you know what a macro key is. I'm talking to you,
Yes.
by the way,
Yes.
and the
Yes.
crowd, but you.
Yep.
These are all buttons, bro. These are all buttons right
Oh
here.
wow,
These are
that's
buttons.
tight.
That's a button. This scroll is a button.
I do need that.
There are buttons on this, right? So this mouse is just dope in general. But the thing that's dope about it is you could put a shortcut. Anything that you would do a million times while you're
Mm.
editing on your fucking whatever software
Yeah.
you use, you could add to these buttons. So you don't have
Yeah.
to press control this. Then when you go on Cubase or whatever you use, Pro Tools and shit, you could do the same shit with all the same buttons for a different project.
Wow.
That's this one mouse, bro. You know how many people said this shit has something to do with hip hop or talked about anything other than gamers? Nobody, bro. So that's kind of the point. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Even
Yes.
if they did, man, can I get somebody who does Pro Tools or something, but that doesn't have an English accent? Like all these cats are from
Yeah.
out of the country, you know what I mean? It's cool. I'm fucking around, but the point is, like, I'd rather. I mean, of course, they got to know what they're talking about, but I'd rather like learn from somebody who I feel like is my homie or
That's
somebody
the
that I
key.
know or can be a friend with. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And like, I feel like there's a whole market of people who's in our generation and our like realm of culture
Yep.
that would prefer to have me explain this shit to them than some old ass lady
I mean, you
who is
just
like doing some shit outside. You know what I'm
guys,
saying?
that's a. If you guys are listening, I hope you guys caught that, by the way, because you guys know we talk about that kind of thing all the time. Like that, I mean, you got it. You nailed. I mean, I agree 100. I'm not saying I'm perfectly right, but I agree with that 100%. I think it is the key to starting anything that you're doing. If you're trying to get into certain spaces, you got to look where can you fill in what's missing that
Something
doesn't
that's not
represent you.
necessarily there.
Yeah, and you can literally use yourself as your own taste and go, I don't relate to anything out there. That means for sure there's at least a few thousand people that think just like you and are gonna, and you can have that space, you know?
It's the other thing.
Yeah.
If you're somebody who got like, let's say, because this a lot of people would do videos and they did like 100 videos and they only got like 1,000 views, which is good, but it's you
Mm-hmm.
think after 100 videos you'd have tens of thousands or even
Yeah,
more,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But you're doing a video on some shit that nobody else is doing. You're like teaching them, you're doing a tutorial on some
Mm-hmm.
shit. I don't know, Photoshop, whatever.
Yeah.
You're like a teacher, bro, and you got 1,000 students every single show. You have the opportunity to, you're in a niche market. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, I'll prefer having 1,000 San Diego people following me or 4,000 San Diego people following our hip hop weds page than, you know, I don't know, 10,000 people from all over the world.
Right.
What I can do is I only have 4,000, a lot less than 10,000. However, majority of them is San Diego. Remember we had this convo with somebody. Somebody wanted me to repost something, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll repost it, but I'm gonna take off the hashtags. It's all kinds of random hashtags, right?"
Yeah.
This fool literally was like, "Why you gonna do that? Don't you want other fans?" And blah blah blah. I'm like, "Bro, you don't understand what I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to keep it San Diego here." Oh well, this and that. Okay, so you got a different idea. Like to hear yourself talk. You don't want to see what you're talking about. Okay, so the whole point is now I can offer something more to a San Diego business. I could be like, yo, when I post this, it's not just going out to 4,000 people all
just
over the
random
world.
people.
All these people can be at your shop or whatever within 30 minutes at the most. You know what I'm saying? So there's more value in that. If
so
that's
much
what you're
more
trying
value.
to do.
Yeah.
Yep. So don't be discouraged by numbers alone, because what you see on the surface is not always what it is. You got to really understand all the angles of the whole game, or else you're missing out, man, and you might quit too early. You know what I'm saying? You might quit before you hit that vein. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, guys, like that is even more important that it's coming from people who've tested. We've tested all these things, by the way. Him saying you might quit before it's too soon, those thoughts have gone through both our heads of like, fuck, man, have we done enough? Is there not, have we hit the wall? Like, nah, man, like, it's just, I feel like this, again, when, just like I was telling you about like your style and how that only comes out when people level up, I also feel like just this way of thinking, getting so clear and so concise, comes with you knowing yourself as well, right? Like, because part of the thing of not wanting to go in the niche is the argument against that usually is just based on like some ego shit. It's like I can't make that happen, or it's too, I want to go where everyone else is because it's easier to blend in and it's safer. Because that road by yourself, that road that nobody's covering, can be scary if you don't know yourself, right? Like if you don't know your own abilities and you don't know you haven't looked at things and gone like, I can do this better. Like if you have never had that conversation, because I've met a ton of people like that, have never had the conversation with themselves, I can do this better. If you haven't had that, then yeah, I could see how it could be scary. But if you have done that, that's not bragging at all. I think it is, that space for you would be easy, Kahlee. I feel like it would be easy for you to easily go in there. Dude, there's ideas I have all the time with a lot of our friends where I'll look at, like, you know, we're over at Twitch now, and I'm looking at Twitch, I'm analyzing Twitch, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of cool, talented people here, but they're not as talented as the people that I know that could come in here and do this. You know what I mean? Because it's so fresh and it's so new still. There are people who are not doing it as a living trying it. Whereas there's someone like you who's doing this, he does this for real
already,
would immediately go in and rise to the top on something like that, you know? But if you don't take the chance, it just won't happen.
I want to do it and shit, but
man. Oh, it'll happen. It'll happen eventually. But all right, dude. So, man, dude. First of all, it's been really dope to have you back on the show. Hopefully you'll be back for each project. But now at least we know that they're all coming. So we'll start penciling you in already. But also, man, come through. I would love to hear you on my other show, Chris Sees the Internet, because I think you would have a blast. You're probably perfect for that show, by the way, because we just go over topics.
Do I have to play?
Yeah, what you have to play? What you don't have to. You just sit there and
I can just sit there and watch you do shit on fucking. What do you play?
Oh, you're talking about GTA 5. So I started a new show with Mike Mackey where we just go over every Sunday. We go over the news of the week on the internet, right? But the news
I'm missing it. I mean, I've seen it, but
the news that's important to us, though.
I'm missing it.
Yeah. It's still new.
Good.
But I think you'd be amazing on that show. Yeah.
So I listened to the Root episode and I listened to the Mike Mackey episode, and I was tripping out with Root, by the way.
Oh my God.
So fortunate
amazing
that brother
story.
turned out the way he is, man. I tested that fool. I was like, bro, anyways, I'm not going to put that out there, but I was just like, happy that he turned out like that.
Yep.
And then it comes to Mike Mackey, and I'm just like, man, he just got me really pumped because, as you know, that everything he said and the feelings that he produced after what he considers to be acceptance, which is not accept. Well, I mean, I guess that's what it is, but you know what it is.
Yeah.
He just did what he did, and we accepted him because, like, yo, you were real with your shit, and he turned out to be dope. Like, how he felt, how that made him feel, what it's inspiring him to do, and it's contributing to where he's at. Even if it, it happened like 10 years ago, that sparked this. He might already be here, but that's what sparked it.
It absolutely sparked it. He doesn't hide that at all. He credits Hip Hop Wins 100% for being being in the position.
That is so what that shit is about.
I know.
I mean? It's so many things, but it's like when you see that example and you're like, hell yeah, like that's what that's one of the major things I wanted to do, and here's a great example of it. It's so dope, and thankfully he's not like a douchebag. Like, he's a super cool dude.
I mean, but that's the other that was the other thing though, right? Like, because you said, and I told him that I was like, bro, like, you have to understand, and bro, I agree with you 100%, and I wanted to text you over but I knew this was coming up because I'd rather have to tell you live. Man, it just made me really, really proud to have been a part of Hip Hop Wins and watch that grow. Because people like Mike Mackey, and it isn't. I'd say it isn't just that he's also a great dude. Part of him being a great dude and part of the way he thinks, he credits to Hip Hop Wins. He credits the way he thinks, not just like making music. He's like, yo, I saw you guys do a bunch of shit you literally did not have to do at all. He's all, there'd be times I'd go home and go like, why are they so cool? Like, because you're just, and that's a sad thing, right? In this day and age that people can't even go like, damn, you got hooked up.
It's sad that that's special.
Exactly.
That unique in that way.
But it is though. But it is, and it is what it is. And he credits that. And bro, I've been so proud. I'm so proud that you've been that. Hey, dude, I know you always share the love, but bro, this was your brain. I remember you talking about it. I literally remember you having the conversations. We talked about like the Comedy Store and how it would be cool to have a place like that for hip hoppers and like people to come like and really
Comedy Store mix. Man.
Yeah, Doug. And you literally would say, dude, I can't wait for a few years to go by, and then like, yo, that cat grew out of Hip Hop Wins, or that cat. And now there's legitimate, I could name 10 of them off the top of my head that are literally killing it right now, that all came out of there. And then, and this speaks, I think this speaks the most about what you created, bro, is that they're willing to admit that.
A lot of what you said.
I said, Hip Hop Wins has made me think about this topic a lot. It's, like, I think a lot about what we help create and what we put into the community and like how effective it was, and I've had all these thoughts lately because I've been really trying to weigh that. I talked to Noah about this on his episode, and I was like, yo, it's interesting when you start something. I expected it, obviously, there to be a negative side to everything that comes out because there's always going to be critics, there's always going to be things, but we've been doing this long enough to not really care like what those people say. I just don't care, but I'm also super proud about the idea that we have people that have come out of Hip Hop Wins that will go on, and then they're going to do this thing that we did for other people, even in their own little way. Right. Even in it might just be one other person, but that one other person, like Mike said, dude, had you guys not embraced me there, he's like, I probably would have never gone back. He's all, because that would be the experience that I normally had. Like, yo, they're not going to accept me. They're not, whatever, like I'll be out. And he's like, every time I thought, okay, this thing's going to end. This is not going to be forever. It's just, I caught them on a good night. He's like, you guys would just consistently prove me wrong over and over to the point where he's like, now I fly that banner. Like, I fly the banner of like, I'm a Hip Hop Wins alumni, and it means something more than just having performed there. It means that I was allowed to perform there, one, but I also, like, I earned it, but also the type of person I am kept me coming back. Like I told him, I'm all, and I know you listened to the episode, but I thought this would be cool to talk with you about. Like, I knew he was someone like Mike Mackey had gotten to the spot that we wanted him to be when we would sometimes have technical difficulties where like the DJ would go down.
Mike.
Exactly. And like, I didn't know how much that meant to him. And like, to me at the time, like, it wasn't like it was just Mike. There was a ton of people around us all the time trying to get spots and trying stuff, but I didn't know how much that had affected him. He was like, dude, the first time you guys did that, I went home and I was like, fuck, I did it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm there. Like I'm there. They literally looked for me when no one looked for me before that. No one looked for me in anything. Man. And that shit was amazing, bro. I want to just give you I want to give you your roses right now, bro, because the reality is, I know, yes, we helped and we did a lot, but this was your brainchild and it was exactly what you talked about, exactly what you wanted it to be. It became. And that was amazing, bro.
Fucking trying to make me cry and shit. Thank you, man.
I'm definitely not trying to do that. Definitely not trying to do that.
My mic just...
Your mic went out a little bit.
Hold on, no? Give me a sec.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Yep, you're there.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that shit happens when some serious talk is happening. Yeah, man, I appreciate it, bro. And like I definitely like felt that anyways. But then when you hear them like testify, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, it feels good.
That's exactly what it is.
All the shit that I was complaining about earlier, all the hard work of booking shows and doing that side of things, like when you actually see the proof in front of you, man, that's when it's like, okay, this is why we do it. I mean, I'm doing it for money, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that ain't here yet. So until that gets here, we're going to ride high off of this and let this be the motivating factor to continue to do it. And, you know, we need it for ourselves anyways.
Absolutely.
But, man, because like you said, it ain't just Mike, bro. But, you know, hearing Mike, I remember when Mike, that first night, and he talked about it on the show, but I remember him telling me, or the next time he came, he was just telling me, he just kept thanking me, you know what I mean, on how dope his first experience was and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, bro, like, first of all, thank you. You know, but dude, it ain't even like you here, dog. Like this is you're here, dog. You're part of the fan, like our community. Like you're welcome, dog. Like you keep saying it, but like, don't feel it in a way where you're some kind of outsider, because that's not what this is about, you know. And it feels good because I had been to places where it's hard to crack the scene. You know what I'm saying? Where you go there and like fools ain't trying to like allow you to be a part of their cipher, or they want to keep rhyming over you, like, motherfucker, you ain't trying to let me get in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And different versions of that. And
or
it's
where
like,
you just won't be considered at all for anything.
No love. No love at all. And you know you better than at least half the people there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this is what's dope too, because he acknowledged, or people, because it wasn't just him. Like I've talked to people about it. Like they do see it as a big deal when they get love, and they do see it as a big deal to get booked. But it's not in a way where it's like, no elitists. I know these little crybabies are out there.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
They know that there's a level of professionalism, and it, you know, I don't like to use the word accepted, but when they do a performance or something like that, they see like, yo, this is not just no pay to play thing that I could book. I could do this show a million times in a month. You know what I'm saying? It's a big deal to get on the show, because you ain't getting booked again for like 6 months or 8 or maybe even a year. A lot of people only did the show like once a year. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's dope that one, they feel the pride of being able to perform, and then two, like they feel a part of it, and it helped them to motivated them to do something like their own offshoot. You know what I mean? Or somebody like Yazzie doing a music room, and you know, all these other people doing shows and shit. So, you know, we're going to get back to something like that. You know what I'm saying? I got some plans. I don't want to do streaming shows because I feel like that's what people are doing. I do got some plans, you know what I'm saying? But, and obviously I'm going to tell you about it because I want you to be a part of it, and I can't wait. But man, there's so many things on the plate.
Yeah, I got you.
Know what I'm saying?
Nah, I like Kahlee the rapper right now, bro. I need Kahlee the rapper right now in my life. So let's just, I've been waiting long enough. Don't take that away for a little bit, at least a little bit. But dude,
well, I mean, just the shit I got is good enough to ride me out into the middle of next year, bro. And
for sure. Yeah, for sure. Man, dude, thank you so much for doing the show, bro. I want you back again. Obviously, well, now I know you'll be back this year because you're going to have projects. So you're coming back for every project.
What about the zombie question, bro? You ain't going to ask me the zombie question?
Oh, my God, man. What are you trying to get? Damn, this fool went old school and shit. This fool went.
These fools don't know.
Hey,
man.
If you know, you know. He just went. He went into the vault right now.
Yo, let me say something for
it almost became a zombie podcast. I think about that a lot of times.
I know, right? Yo, real talk. I know, right? Real talk, for anybody who this new Crappy Awesome is like the first time you seeing it, Crappy Awesome isn't just the first like hip hop podcast to like San Diego, whatever. And it is. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I know other people been doing it and we're unaware, but go back in the archives, you know what I mean, and see all these big artists that y'all are like, damn, they killing it. You know, not just Reverie and Gavlin and Oak and people like that, but so many people where their first, second, and third podcast was on Crappy Awesome. Like, people were not doing this type of thing, except on a larger scale. Yeah, there was a couple. Obviously,
we might have been ahead of our time as well.
No, definitely ahead of your time. But look, like what it's turned into is like having love from these people. You know, sometimes you don't get like say the money and shit, or even the respect from certain people, or even the views or whatever. But now we're in a place where a lot of us are at a place further in our careers, and we built, you know, ground to. We broke bread together in the past on, you know, you with Crappy Awesome and shit. So it's just like that's just another thing, man. If y'all getting your grind on, the dude next to you, you know, digging with the shovel, y'all not gonna be digging forever. You know what I'm saying?
That's
true.
One
day you're gonna be at some different place, and that dude that you played a set with in some random obscure city, you know what I'm saying, is gonna be somewhere, and y'all gonna run into each other, and y'all are gonna not just reminisce on some shit, but y'all are gonna build together and do something great, man. It ain't about just like that instant return. The bigger picture is always gonna be there. It's just up to you to put the pieces together, man. Straight up.
Straight up, motherfuckers.
Straight up, son.
Yo, man. Man, I don't know. Yeah, I missed you though, bro. I'm glad everything is cool.
Too, man. It's been a minute.
I'm glad everything is cool. I'm looking forward to everything that's coming out. Guys, you need to follow everything Kahlee 310 at Instagram, but go to sdstateofmind.com right now.
On my candle.
Look at that candle. I'm waiting for you got my order, right? Like, I'm gonna ask you right now. You got my order,
bro.
Okay, cool.
I got your order, yes, sir. Cool. I got a few orders. I'm super appreciative of the support that we've received so far. A lot of people been showing love. I'm actually surprised.
I just talked to Parker, bro, and we said if there was like a, like say we had like a hip hop awards down here, which we probably will put together at some point, but yeah, you got to win merch of the year, bro. Like dude, this is how I know your merch is dope. It's because I always do that. I've told you this. I always test it on people who aren't into hip hop like we are. And I just want to see their first reaction. And they're like, oh, how do I get one of those? Like, in the moment they say that, I'm like, bro, and by the way, you should corner the market on the candle thing because nobody's done it better. I've seen people do versions. No one's done it as good as you, dog.
Kind of corny. There was even somebody I hit up, and I was gonna, because they do candles. They're not artists or nothing. They do candles and shit. But because of their affiliation to somebody else who I felt like was shady, I was like, nah, let me not let him get the files.
Yeah.
He might try to print up his own candles. I'm good. I do this myself. Save $3.
I want to see you. I got an idea to pitch you, man. I got an idea. Here's one. This is a live, real pitch, people. I think you should do Legends of Underground Hip Hop candles and put those out under the Bars Weekly brand. Hip Hop Wins brand. I think that would be dope.
Page popping or what?
I mean, because I think you could do, because you'll also know like the real legend. Like, people might, because I think you need to get those obscure ones where like people might not know who they are. No, not just Tupac and Biggie. You know what I mean? Like real ones. But that's my pitch to you, man. You should run with it and become a millionaire.
We shall see, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm definitely pumped, man. I'm glad everybody's digging these, and I just want to because it is a candle, and I don't know if you guys know about this. I know you and I are from Catholic backgrounds. Neither of us are practicing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like my son, but other little boys not for me.
Yes.
So basically, in the back here, usually this is a prayer candle, and there's different kinds of saints on it and different reasons why you might light the candle. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to put a prayer on the back, but I wanted to do something that kind of serves a similar purpose and shit. So this is like the artwork and the information of the album, the credits and stuff like that, website and all that. But then right here it says, what does it say? I need glasses. Light this candle with the intent to improve yourself and those around you. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
So when you light this candle, you focusing on bettering yourself, man, because I'm telling you again, I gotta reiterate, we are in a time that we may never, if we're fortunate, and we'll live a lot longer, but we'll never encounter something like this again. You know what I'm saying? We need to do our best to progress. If I meet you again, if I see you, hip hop weds popping off again, whatever, we're chilling, regular, no mask necessarily, and you the same motherfucker that you were a year ago, year and a half ago, 2 years ago, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
No. Stop complaining and do some shit. Anything. anything new. What, you wanted to play a guitar? Learn how to play a guitar. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to do something, please. You know
I
what I
feel
mean?
you,
It
bro.
don't got to be amazing. Your standards are your standards, not my standards, not
Yes.
YouTube standards. People on IG who you want to be like ain't even happy with themselves. Look, just do you. Get around people who's doing better too. You know what I'm saying? And next time I see you, man, we all go have some good shit to talk about. You know what I'm
Hell
saying? That's where I
yes.
want to be. Straight
Hell
up.
yes. Thank you, G. Thank you for those bars,
Thank
by the
you,
way.
bro. No
Guys,
doubt.
Kahlee 310, sdstateofmind.com. Dude, I'll talk
Mhm.
to you soon, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, man. I appreciate you having me again, dude.
Yes, sir, dude. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, Kahlee 310. We'll talk to you
Hey,
soon,
peace
brother.
to the colleagues. All right, bro. I love you, dog.
Love you too.
Peace.
That's my boy, Kahlee. What can I say, man? He's one of the best out there doing it, period. Period. He's just one of the best doing it. One of the best rappers. I'll put money on that. He's in my crew, the Fresh State, which makes me super excited. Just to be in the presence of like very high level writers, bar spitters, like himself, Rick, Parker, all these guys. But Kahlee's one of the good ones. I say it all the time about everybody on the show because that's what we do here, by the way. I don't know if you figure that out. We interview the good ones. And Kahlee has now, this is really dope, and I'm proud to say that he has etched his name in the history books for underground hip hop. Because, by the way, he was talking about Hip Hop Wins that's based in San Diego, but don't get it twisted. People from all over the world went to Hip Hop Wins. A lot of the LA artists, i.e., San Bernardino, we had New York in the house, Philly, Minneapolis, like people all over the world were going to Hip Hop Wins. People all over the world were hearing about Hip Hop Wins. We'd get people come in from, I mean, San Diego is a tourist country. So we'd have people from out of the country that would stop in and then go back and tell their friends. It was an amazing thing. Very much, people talk a lot about like, they make a comparison to the Blowed in LA. And yeah, I guess it was kind of like that. It still is in spirit, right? Because it hasn't died. I mean, none of this has died. COVID just came. We're in the same boat with the rest of y'all. But yeah, Kahlee 310, Bars Weekly. Check that out. We have his links, by the way, on the front. He's a partner of ours at Platform Collection, so his links are right there on the front page at Platform Collection. So go there, dive into everything he's done. By the way, I know some of you might be hearing about it for the first time. Oh, Kahlee, he's a rapper, blah, blah, blah. Dude, he's got a catalog. Go back, do the research. It's very interesting, by the way. The story is very interesting. Go back and listen to his past podcast as well. You can kind of hear where he came from. This is not, by the way, Kahlee's first time in the limelight. He's had a long career. He's done this a few times. But I don't think I've ever heard him speak in such an authentic voice as he has now. And that's because of the work that he's done. Full credit to him. But guys, thank you for tuning in. Platformcollection.com is where you'll find us. Go check out all the past episodes of Crappy Awesome. We've only been on video for the better part of this year, so we're still new to video. I feel like we almost restarted, but our audio is cracking. I'm going to tell you some of my high points. He talked about that a little bit, right? About going back and checking what we did and the people we've had on. Scoop DeVille, he's been on. If you guys know about Scoop DeVille, he's been on. One of my favorite ones I like to mention, only because I later became an even bigger fan of his. There's a show on Netflix hosted by Hassan Minaj. Hassan Minaj from The Daily Show. Now he has his own show on Netflix. He was on Crappy Awesome, his first podcast. In fact, we talked to him about him possibly quitting comedy at the time. So, and since then he's talked at the White House. So, yeah, man, there's a lot of history. And like I said, search Kahlee's history, man. If you're just into underground hip hop, you're into indie hip hop. By the way, hands down, now with this last package, hands down, he is the merch king. I've seen some nice merch. This dude has dope merch. And again, this isn't the first of it. It's been going on for a while. When y'all were putting out CDs in paper sleeves, this dude had fold out different types of paper. Y'all don't even know. But check it out. And hopefully you will know, and you'll become a fan of Kahlee's music. Right now on the front page over at platformcollection.com. Go there, check it out. And we'll see you guys next time, man. Please take care of yourselves and cover your mouth. Don't cough on people. It's not cool. Nobody likes it. See you guys later.